What's up, everybody? Welcome to the pregame show. Take number two. Take two. Gonna give this a shot. So yeah, here we go. Game notes today, guys. We got to hit the ground running because we're a little late. And honestly, there's a lot to get to in this pregame show. There's some big stuff. We're gonna talk about Will Barton, he opened up. It's the first time I've heard him talk about being booed and how that affected his mind frame. It's a little bittersweet. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little bittersweet. We're talking about Michael Porter. We're waiting for the breakout game. Guys, I have a feeling tonight is it. And then Superstar Dev, how did you do on your lock in game 2?
Why don't you ask me about my lock in game 1?
Well, I asked you about that one. All right, so we're 1-1 on locks. We're going to get another one. It's every other game. Tonight, the lock is going to happen.
Do you want to know how my lock did?
Yeah, how'd your lock do?
It hit.
Oh, wow. Eric, incredible.
Let's go.
Incredible. You guys, we're going to welcome in Mitchell.
What's up? Let's go. I'm so hyped. Thank you.
Your vibes are very good, even if our internet's vibes are less good.
Internet vibes bad, and my vibes all the way up. Let's go.
So reliable, your vibes, unlike this internet.
Consistent as gravity.
So the Nuggets are hosting the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is such a Monday night game. Isn't this a classic Monday night?
The Mondest.
The Monday. If I asked you, I said, hey, early in the season, the Nuggets are going to play the Cavs. You'd be like, what, on a Monday?
I'd be like, what, February 24th? Like, whatever.
But we're still early enough in the season that I'm super hyped for it. Dev, why don't you take us inside Michael Malone's comments in the pregame?
Well, it's interesting that we're talking about Will Barton because he's actually been very high on Will Barton. Spoke about how good of a defender that Will Barton's been in the first couple of games.
Yeah.
He went and talked about Devin Booker, his defense on Devin Booker, and also about how he actually asked to defend Keldon Johnson, who was just having a monster game against the Nuggets. So
which is really dope. But also, like, what did Barton say? Like, hey, man, we got to take Gordon off him. I got him. I got Keldon Johnson.
But you also do want somebody to just step up or just want to be the guy that tries to slow down the other guy. So he did speak about that. He also went and spoke about Bones Highland. That's what everyone wants to hear about. He
was asked specifically about Bones.
Yep, and then he had a real conversation with him about how he basically has to be patient. He said that Nikola Jokic, Michael Porter Jr. had some DNPs when he first started, as well as Murray not being a starter as well. So
Jokic even
really high on the rookie, and for him to have those type of conversations with him, especially early on, like that's promising. I feel like because that's something that we've talked about. I don't feel like he was just going to give him the job, make him work for it, and also just to give some like real life things. Like Michael Porter Jr. is now a max player. All three of those guys are max players, and none of them started when they first got there. So wait your turn, it's coming.
And even wait your turn almost doesn't do it justice, right? Like, there just are some teams that are able to slot a rookie in and give him a big experience. But this one, I think, Malone, it is about earning it and it being no question that you earned it. Maybe some of the patience that comes along with that can serve you later on. It's all of those different things.
Dude, like the idea that there is a culture to disrupt.
Yeah.
And there's a rhythm to disrupt,
true,
and there's a balance to disrupt is like such a luxury. I mean, it's like you want to feel what it feels like to be on a positive NBA team. That's actually more valuable than getting shots.
We're getting some 90s dad rock in the bar tonight, and I'm here for it. I am so here for a little fastball.
What do you mean you're here for? You never left.
I never left, baby. The 90s never left in many ways. In all ways. Yeah. No, it's interesting you mentioned the vibe about a team,
it's true.
Because today on the Keeping It 1000 podcast, which everybody's got to watch this, like save it for tomorrow or whatever, because it had LaFonso Ellis on. We get one of my favorites. Anybody that's my age, like LaFonso Ellis, like a top 5 Nugget, great guy. But one of the things I asked him why those Nuggets teams of the early '90s never took off, and he talked about sometimes you have a group that just clicks, and if you take one little piece out of it or disrupt it in any way, like all of a sudden, like it all kind of falls apart. And I think Michael Malone's smart enough to know this with this team too. That hey, man, they have something going, and is Bones like a part of that? Yes. But you just throw him into the mix, maybe it doesn't work. You got to kind of like allow it to work, at its own pace.
Yeah, I think you can't ask an established vet like Austin Rivers and a guy who has the foreign accolades like Facu to sit for a guy who maybe weighs 180 pounds soaking wet and won't play a lick of defense. I think they've definitely earned that, and I think I'm on the Bones hype train as much as anybody, but I think tempered expectations is probably the way to go at this point.
Yeah. I also think that you could see it even with other players on the team, like keeping a Vlatko on the squad. just with his personnel and how close he is with Jokic. Also, like, not allowing Michael Porter Jr., who everyone knows he was going to be the guy.
Right.
Like, that's something that you've already known, but he didn't give it to him.
Right.
He made him work for it just as everyone else. He had a lot of DNPs that made a lot of people mad. Just making sure that the vets, like, got to get their time and got their chance, and you have to come and actually overtake them before anything is just given to you. There's no red carpet treatment with him.
Dude, there's literally like 10 players that constitute an NBA team.
Yeah.
Like, imagine working in a
and
company.
7 guys that just sit there waiting.
Imagine working in a company of 10 and there's one guy that's just pissed off, man.
Right,
It throws things off.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
The chemistry, especially, you're not talking about like baseball or something. It's like you just need to go out and hit the ball and catch the ball when it comes to it. Like, you got to figure out, like, your guy is an extension of you. He's got to be in the right space. It's like all built on trust for teams that actually work and win. And like, when you bring veterans into your locker room, it's like because you want them to teach your young players the right way to play, to give them good, habits and just sort of understand like what it takes to win in this league. And so that's all culture stuff.
Yeah.
Like, Bones is a phenom. Like, everyone to a man has said it, but like,
Right.
you just gotta wait for it. It's not like it's not coming.
And it might, that's the biggest thing is that, like, I do think he's going to play and play a lot. In fact, I even think he's going to play more than some of the guys that were mentioned as guys that had to go through the ranks, just because he is that good and because they do have a need for his skill set. And there's any one guy, 1, 2, or 3 that could go down that moves him in. Like, honestly, any of the small forwards, shooting guards, or point guards go down, he fills one of those voids. He steps up. So, I want to move on, though, because another interesting thing tonight, same starters for Denver, but the Cavs, who have had a little bit of a weird start to their season and existence, tonight they're going with Sexton and Garland.
Sexy Garland.
So
Sexland is back.
they, in their couple years together now so far, their couple years together haven't been a great fit. Their previous game just over the weekend, Ricky Rubio was incredible. And Ricky Rubio kind of fits with both of those guys, but those two guys together, I don't know. So it's an interesting backcourt, but they're so quick. And we know Denver has struggled with quick point guards in the past, although now you talk about Austin Rivers, P.J. Dozier, Facu Campazzo. I don't think those guys have struggled with quick guards. And so I'm kind of curious to see if this quick guard thing comes back to bite Denver. But then they're going with Markkanen, Mobley, and Allen. What do those guys have in common? They're all centers.
They're all big dudes.
They're all centers. None of those guys are actual wing defenders.
Always.
Like Mobley's a really good guy, and he's versatile.
I hope your lock is for Jokic threes. I just hope your lock is for Jokic threes.
But it actually brings us to our next topic here, which is in a Michael Porter Jr. breakout. Because when I saw this, the last game that they start a big lineup, I thought, okay, here it is. Here is a group of players who none of them really want to step out and guard the perimeter. Michael Porter pick and pop should be a thing tonight. Yep. Dev, am I often thinking this game is setting the table for Michael Porter to break out?
Absolutely not. Also, with it, now you have guys that are just trying to be geared to stop Jokic with the height and the size and the help side. But now that leaves shooters open. Yeah. That leaves a lot of attention because those are not mobile guys that are going to be able to get out.
Mobley's mobile, but I don't think he's mobile as in like you straight up match up on MPJ.
Yeah,
you
so
switch matchup.
That leaves open shots open. Yeah. The best shooter on the team is Michael Porter Jr. And that also allows him to work on Markkanen in a lot of ISO situations.
If they stick Markkanen on MPJ,
there's no way they could go away from it. You can't put Markkanen on Aaron Gordon.
Why not?
He's just not mobile enough. Yeah, he's not athletic enough to keep up with them. So
he'll cut all night. If that's
having those type of guys, it just sets up for a big MPJ night. So I'm with you on that.
Does it worry you at all, Eric, that it's just a weird lineup? Like this is almost bubble-esque for the Nuggets when they put Bol at shooting guard. In that the Cavs, look, they don't care about this season, wins, losses. They're trying to figure out who they are, and also they just don't have everybody healthy right now. So
does it worry me? No. Like what? The Nuggets have already shown 2 games in that they have a bunch of ways to win. Like they're not like, oh no, all we can do is like all we do is crash the boards and we try and score in the paint. Like that's one of the ways that they're able to win, but it's not the only way that they're able to win. So the fact that you have Cleveland locked into a certain style of play with those big 3 guys is actually advantageous if you're savvy and you have the pieces to defend it and to also attack it, and the Nuggets do.
Mitchell, so one of the things that came out of post-game over the weekend, or last Friday rather, was Michael Maloney let this one slip where he said some of the guys on the team don't like how I call plays for Jokic all the time, but they better get used to it. It felt like also like a hell yeah, but wait, what? Somebody doesn't like that Jokic gets his number called all the time? Look, it's almost certainly Michael Porter. Is that concerning at all to you, or is it like, hey, it's just part of the process?
No, I think the way he phrased that definitely kind of says more than it's probably just like that comment MPJ had in the bubble where it was, hey, like, I can shoot, give me the ball. I don't think it's a problem. No, I think it's more like, coach, let me get some, put some weak side action for me so I can get open for some threes. I don't know if it's a complaint. I don't think Malone would have aired him out like that if it was like a legitimate complaint. But I do think it's probably a game like this where he has Markkanen or a rookie on him that you can let him cook a little bit and get him some action and kind of let him get those plays that he's asking for.
Dev, do you feel, though, I talked about this on Lockdown the other day, do you feel the Nuggets, for Porter to get more shots, the Nuggets need to call more plays for him? Do you think he needs to learn better how to be used within what the team is already doing, or maybe the team can help him with what they're already doing? Where do you think that balance is? I
think the balance is in Malone's response. A guy came to you to complain about your best player, who's the MVP in the league, saying something, and instead of you saying, yeah, we'll work around it or we'll figure it out, it was like, no, get used to it. You need to adjust. You need to change. It's on you. It's a way to challenge him back. Like, when you get the chance, then you make the best of that. But we're not changing anything that we're doing
why would you?
To go for you. Like, you need to figure it out because this is who we're going to go through. So I think that explains it all. And the person that, whoever it is, I'm not going to say it's MPJ, whoever it is,
that's a good call.
It's going to be you that has to make that change because he's the guy that we're going to build around. He's also the guy that plays the right way. So if they're open, he'll find you.
It's such a funny comment to come after that specific game. I wasn't on the Friday show. I was so jealous, you guys. I was in my hotel room in DeSoto, Texas.
I would say it's the best show we've had in 5 years.
It might have been. It might have been fun. Of course you had fun.
Right.
Did you guys have fun because Jokic looked like Michael Jordan, 7-foot Serbian Michael Jordan?
That's not the reason.
Wasn't the reason.
We had a tiny king in your chair.
Hard to put a finger on that.
All right, this doesn't hurt at all, guys. No, but seriously, like, it's funny that comment. I mean, we don't know when those comment. We don't know exactly. Malone could be exaggerating this or that, but you watch that game where Jokic was literally perfect, and then you think, like, who would ever be like, "Hey, let's call fewer plays for that guy"?
To me, this feels like a straw man motivator.
Yeah, it might be.
I don't think anybody. I think he's just saying, like, "Hey, man, a lot of people are upset that I'm calling every play for Jokic, but you just got to get used to it." And you're like, "Who?" And you're like.
It's
so Flacco, actually.
Like, I don't know. Like,
I heard somebody in the stands. There was Nick Wright.
Like the guys on the other team were upset about it. Like,
for sure.
Get used to it.
Michael Porter breakout tonight. Do you feel like it needs to happen? I mean, maybe not tonight, but do you feel like it needs to happen soon?
Nope.
Why?
Because the Nuggets look great. Like, who gives a shit? Like, we're not playing fantasy basketball.
Yeah.
Like, if we're reliant on Michael Porter Jr., by all means, but we're not. Like, take your time. Like, make it. Like, let's not force it unless it's like we're in a death spiral and we need to change things. Like, the Nuggets look fucking fantastic.
It's also one reason you give him a max contract early. Is it's not like if he's going into a contract here and he gets 7 points in a game, he's like, guys, I'm trying to get paid. You're not helping me out. But if you pay him early, you're like, hey, you don't have to worry about your max. It's already there. Just worry about winning.
I think he's pretty far down the list of breakout guys, or that you would like to see a positive game from.
Really?
I think Monte is probably at the top of the list for me.
Pragmatic Mitchell over here.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, we'd love to see it.
I'm not saying mad about it.
Nothing's hinging on him having a breakout game.
Like, There's just guys that haven't had a game yet. I'd like to see maybe like Aaron Gordon 20 points or Monte 15 and 8 or something. Just something positive from those guys that haven't had the counting stats yet. MPJ will get his, no problem.
If the Nuggets were 0-2 right now, would that same thing apply?
No, then it's like, yo, we need help.
Okay.
Like, we're not getting anything here. Like, we got a problem. We need to, we're looking
There's
at
no
like,
problem.
no, there's no problem. It's like Jokic is cruising. Other people are eating when he decides they're going to eat. And then, that's like, what's the issue here?
It's so funny.
Yeah,
I love
just
it 'cause
cares it.
it really is like that alpha wolf where it's like everybody else eats when he decides
Totally.
they can eat, but it doesn't
That's how
matter.
that works.
The
dude.
pack is
I think
thriving.
it's the big piece of chicken. Everyone knows this.
Everybody knows it. We're going to play a clip from a great Will Barton documentary. He made it himself, I believe. I mean, it's up on his YouTube channel. But it pertains to him being booed. We've always wondered, like, how much does he sense the fan bases and how people talk about him online or they boot him? Roll the clip here. He opens up about it.
To be honest with you, that one year that shit happened in the playoffs, that was like a blessing in disguise. Because I remember after that, but that summer, it made me go back to the old me. Yeah. It was like, why we came in this shit in the beginning. I never came to please no fans or play for nobody. You feel what I'm saying? It was like, when I first got there trying to turn it around, and then I got paid, it was like, I tell people it's almost like your parents' situation. You want to do so good because you want your parents to love you. You feel what I'm saying? And that's how I was approaching that shit. Once I got into Denver and we turned around, I was like, damn, we just turned this shit around. I just want to keep doing good so they can love me. But it don't go like that. And I'm happy that happened because now it's like, I can just play free. Now, you almost be like, I know they don't like me. So it's like, fuck it. I might as well go out there and just do me now instead of going out there trying to play for them and they still don't like you. All right, I might as well just go do me because they ain't going to like me regardless. So now I might as well just go out there and just play the way I played. And then you saying the next year, I had a career year.
So there's a lot to unpack here. And you guys are all laughing and loving this, and I'm loving it. And look, there is a part of me that's like, I love that he is above this, but there's a bigger part of me, a much bigger part of me that's just so sad by this, you guys. Like, I'm so sad by the fact that he went from the people's champ to this, like, the fans are never going to love me, so whatever.
Punching bag.
F him.
He's not the casuals champ. He's the people's champ.
Yeah, that's the thing. So this is my real feeling on all of this is that people who casually watch the Denver Nuggets don't like Will Barton because they see him at times like do things that are frustrating, but they don't really understand the full body of work. Like every now and again, if you get Will Barton like in just like a weird cross section, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
When it's like he gets a steal and he makes a bad decision because he like inexplicably wants to finish when there are two guys open. Like that happens. That absolutely happens with Will Barton. But like the people who like know and like the real ones know.
Real ones know.
And the other thing, the point is that like the Nuggets are about to get a huge influx of attention, right? Like they're about to get with just for no other reason than Nikola Jokic. People are going to start to be paying attention, and like Will Barton has the opportunity to rewrite his narrative here in Denver with all of these new eyeballs that don't have all this baggage.
But my point is that I want this, like I have this thing in my head where it's like he hits a shot in the conference finals at Ball Arena and the crowd cheers from him. It's like it's full circle, but he's almost like, I don't. That's not my vision. F him. They could cheer, they could hate.
Yeah.
And you're excited because he's above it. And it is something good where it's like he's no longer scarred. It clearly scarred him, but it's no longer scarred by it. But to me, it's just a little sad.
Feels like he lifted a weight off that he's playing without now, and I think that's better. I'm a Thrill guy. I have the Black Skyline Thrill jersey. Like I when I hear that clip, I'm like, okay, he's back. Like he doesn't. He's not
definitely back.
thinking. He's thinking less and playing more. And I think that's only good because I really like when Thrill is on. I mean, I think that's good.
What I see is a person that truly does care. He really does care, but he's also in a situation that you have to get over it.
Right.
Like you sitting there and moping in it or just living with it daily. It just makes it very difficult. Like there's nothing else you can do. You can't change other people's minds. You still have to be true to yourself. You have to play within yourself. Some people are going to like it, some people aren't, but you could tell that there was a time that Will Barton cared about like it really did bother him, and maybe that comes into why he's taking extra shots because he wants to win over a few more people. Maybe that goes into why sometimes he's not trying too hard because he's like damned if I do, damned if I don't. I feel like he's just in a situation where he has to get over it or he has to just play within himself. And also his teammates like him. So that's what matters to him. He's making money. He's playing the game that he loves, and also his teammates like him. He's a starter in this league that gets it.
I mean, also like how damaging is it? He signed a new contract.
You're right. There's greater ills in the world.
I'm saying I'm saying like
How he chose to came back.
He came back here. Like, it's obviously not that psychologically damaging for him. Like, he's like, all right, whatever. Like, and we've seen already in the first 2 games of the season, he's looked great. He's looked unencumbered. He's looked like, and he has been making bad decisions. It like, I don't know. For me, it's like, this is a great opportunity for Will Barton to like really, really become the people's champ again.
I can't promote the documentary enough. It's only like 30 minutes. There's 2 parts. They're each like 16, 18 minutes, something like that. And it's really a great thing because it provides such insight into Will Barton and who he is. And also, you just see how hard he works. This is the thing when I did the documentary with him years back and was talking to Tim Conley and everybody else. They're like, dude, that guy just like, he doesn't want to be anywhere else but the gym. Sure. I think Michael Porter's the same way where like they are most comfortable working on their game. It's just cool to watch him, all the different things he went through with the sole focus of he's at that point in his career where he's kind of both in his prime and like on the downside. So he's like at the very end where he still feels like the best player he's ever been, but also sees the end. And It was just a really cool sort of reflection. Let's put Dev on the hot seat, though. It's that time. Dev, I'm telling you, I'm with whatever you say right now. I am 100% betting alongside with you because I missed it. I was down in Texas. I couldn't bet. I was so pissed the other night. I couldn't bet. I was so mad. But tonight I'm going to make up for it and double bet everything.
Great advice.
I love that. I love that. So just taking a look at it, Nuggets
can we bring up the scoreboard again? Dev's lock scoreboard, just so we understand.
We'll talk about it later. Nuggets are huge favorites in this one. A 9.5 point favorite.
So there's an opt-in that says bet $100 on the Nuggets to win this week, and you get $20 free bet. All Nuggets games. Sweet. I just have to bet $100.
Okay.
Guess I'm betting $100 on the Nuggets to win tonight.
Yeah, I mean that's
easy.
You get a $20 free bet, so it's like you just have to take these whenever it works.
Yeah. So first, you have to look at it. Is this a game that Nuggets play like big in, or do they play down to their competition? We have not seen that this year, but we've seen a different Nuggets team with the defense. I don't do spreads. That's a huge spread for me. I mean, I don't feel comfortable in that. Does anyone else feel comfortable in taking?
I would
10
take
points,
it.
basically?
I would take it.
Nope. Fuck a spread.
There's a lot of I don't know. The Nuggets have a lot of adults this time for the first time, and these games aren't going to be as much of a. Hopefully, these games won't be as much of a sweat. But 9.5 against the Cavs with the lineup they have, I think that's easy.
All right, I'm gonna let Eric tell you his lock. You guys are gonna sweat it, but it is gonna win.
The absolute lock of the century is Nikola Jokic 3-point shots. He's going to be attempting to draw out his defender from the paint. We have 3 towers in the middle there. You need to have the paint opened up. So this is when Jokic is going to start off early, firing threes, and he's the MVP of the league.
He is the MVP of the league. That's a great
What's that
point.
number?
I don't even know. It doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't matter. Take it.
48, 3s. Nikola Jokic, 3s. Over 0.5.
Oh, yeah. That's
one.
the easiest
money
odds,
ever.
though?
Minus 250.
Oh, okay.
But whatever.
What
Make it a sweetener. Make it part of your same game parlay.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, you can add that to any parlay, really.
So last game, Adam, you weren't on. What I said was I was never going to bet on Michael Porter Jr. again. I lied. I lied.
Game.
My lock, they dropped it down. Michael Porter Jr.'s points, rebounds, and assists is 25.5.
Okay.
That's cake.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah, take that.
I'm going to take the over. Michael Porter Jr. points, rebounds, and assists. First off, I feel like he's just going to get it in points alone. I just like to take the rebounds just because it makes it fun for me to just get other things. But I feel confident in his points. I really do feel confident in that. Also, we seen a different man lately.
New man.
Different man.
We've seen different men.
Different man.
different.
Eric's been saying go after his rebounds.
You know how many times I've said that?
I don't know about his rebounds tonight.
Just with the 3 center.
With the 3 center, I don't love his rebounds tonight.
And it's at 12.5, I think.
Yeah, I don't love him tonight.
That's a whole bunch.
That is a whole lot. I'm not betting an under. Are you giving me an under to bet? Come on now.
I would never do that. So I'll go with, just for fun, a Will Barton. I just feel like it's a bounce back.
Oh, that is
another
fun.
game for him. So, so my lock is going to be Michael Porter Jr., but I also like Will Barton with his points, rebounds, and assists as
Points,
well.
rebounds, and assists. Okay.
My lock.
22.5.
My lock.
I like both of
same
those
game
a lot.
parlay. Denver Nuggets money line. Nikola Jokic 2 plus 3s for plus 190 odds.
Ooh,
That's
2 threes,
nice.
huh?
That's it.
2 threes. All right.
We'll get that in the first 3 minutes.
We have any other ones we really like tonight?
I mean, if you guys have
Oh
to take
no,
one,
he's about to give
if
you a
guys have
Colin
to take
Sexton.
Evan Mobley. That guy is good.
Yeah, Mobley's
He's
legit.
actually good. His points and rebounds is like 17 and a half or
That's
something
easy.
super
I would
low.
take that, too.
I just feel like that's a guy that scores. It is going to be like new how they try to get Garland into the mix. But as of right now, it's been a lot of Sexton shots. And then Mobley has been a really good rookie.
You know what I just put money on?
Oh boy,
Jokic 6.5 assists.
Ooh.
All these big guys running
That's what I'm
around,
saying.
running around screens.
This
Come on,
is a
man.
facilitation night. This is a Jokic
6.5?
opening up the paint.
This is
Jokic
yeah.
gets 6.5 assists sometimes in a quarter.
Yeah. No, you're right. That's an easy one.
I like that one. Should have been a lock. All right, guys, tune in right after the show. We're going to be right back here. Hopefully it's a winner's lounge. We'll see you all there.